Hi everyone, my name is Colette Rodrigo. Welcome to Colette's Temporary Thermi Kitchen. Tonight I am going to be making some gnocchi, something I love in my household. That beautiful little pillows of air made with potatoes or sweet potatoes or pumpkins. And there's some great recipes on Thermomix. I'm going to try one of those tonight. It's something I make a lot and it's just yummy, so let's get going. So the recipe I have chosen is an American one, so it's on the USA site. So I'm just going to go to my week and you can see all the other yummy stuff that I've been making this week. The steamed orange puddings are totally amazing, as is that coconut and spinach dal. That's a great midweek, real quick, gorgeous vegetarian dish. Okay, so sweet potato gnocchi, this is the one that I'm making tonight, and I'm basically going to get going. No, I'm not, I'm going to go back actually, because I've already started. So what I've actually done already, I'm going to, sorry Andrew, if you just come back on the screen, I've done the first 4 steps and I'll talk to you about those in a minute. So I'm going to head into step 5, which is that step there. All right. So what I've actually done already is I have, just following Cookie Do, it tells us what to do, we know it's amazing, is I have already pre-cooked my sweet potato, cut them into small pieces, and you never really want to be boiling potatoes when you're making gnocchi because moisture is the enemy. You want to keep it nice and dry. Now when this was actually finished its steaming time, what I did is I actually tipped these onto some paper towel, wiped that with paper towel and then put them back on there. I don't want any excess moisture getting into these sweet potatoes at all. So it's telling me now to put those cooled potatoes, they've been sitting there for about 15 minutes. So nice cold potatoes are going in. When I used to do this manually in the old days, pre-Thermomix, you would be putting those through a ricer to get them really nice and smooth. But Thermi does all of that mixing up for us. So the lid's going on and it's just going to mix those together now, and round we go to speed 7. Now it's really important that those potatoes are mixed really well, so we're going to go again. So all I need to do, you can see here we've got a really good, but there are a couple of little chunks in there. So we're going to push all this down. Oh, it smells good already. And can you see how dry that is? Because that little extra step of using that kitchen paper to get rid of that excess moisture is a good step. All right, so we go next. Thermi tells us the lid's gone on, thank you. And the next step is we basically just repeat that, but we're going at a small... So that should be nice and smooth for us. Beautiful. Now can you see how that texture has changed? How it is very smooth. That's exactly what we want. Now you can change sweet potato to potato and pumpkin, but if you're using pumpkin, do let it drain off because it has so much more moisture in it. I will often do half white potatoes, half sweet potatoes. Sweet potatoes is beautiful, absolutely beautiful, my favorite. All right, so that's now done, and we are now going to add into this some plain flour. All-purpose flour in the USA is plain flour, and it wants 11 ounces, but I'm not going to put 11 ounces in because I'd rather put a bit more in at the end. So I'm going to put like maybe 3/4 of this in. So just guesstimating about 3/4. And we are going to add in some Parmesan cheese. The first part of this recipe is grating the Parmesan cheese, and we all know why we don't want to buy grated cheese because of all the additives, but the caking agents is the biggie, and by actually grating your own you're saving money and you don't have all those caking agents, which are basically things like silicone and cardboard. Did you know that, Andrew?
She told me so many
I'm
times.
sorry, okay, all right. All right, and then also this recipe's got some ricotta, and I have to say, this was a beautiful batch of ricotta I made in the Thermomix. It makes the most amazing ricotta, and I keep eating this. I think I need to make some cannelloni really quickly because it just is amazing. So in goes the ricotta, and next, large egg. So in goes our large egg. Okay, and then next, splash of salt for flavouring, and a bit of garlic powder, which is pretty yum. Nutmeg. I'm not a big fan of nutmeg myself, so I choose to leave it out, but of course you can put it in. But you know, everything in my life has to have a bit of white pepper, so the white pepper is going in for extra flavour. And then lid's going on. Isn't it great? And it's so easy to cook with the Thermomix. It tells us exactly what to do step by step. And now this is going to mix this for 5 minutes. That's speed 3.
5 seconds.
Oh, 5 seconds, that's right. Thank you, honey. Okay, and now what we're going to do, we're going to leave the measuring cup on and we're going to bring up that dough function. So I remember the olden days with the old mixer I used to have it. Then I'd have to change the blades and it would be so messy. Thermomix just does it all seamlessly. Love that. Okay, so the dough function has come up, and that's just going to knead that now together for 20 seconds.
So say hi to Karen, Kayleen, Pam, Vicky, Meryl.
Lots of people on. That's lovely. Thank you guys for hopping on. I hope you are trying all of these recipes at home and that you're getting really inspired. Okay, now look, if you have a TM6, this is one of the great features, is that connectivity. So on the TM6, we all know it's got a bigger screen, but it's got these videos that will show you technique. So it's now telling us to basically transfer the dough to a mat. But if I press this, it's going to show me exactly what I need to do. A bit more flour, knead it together into a ball. How cool is that? Super, super clear. All right, so I'm going to do that step. Thank you. And I am glad I didn't add all of that flour in. So please remember that little tip, guys. So there we go. So I'm going to just tip this out
Doesn't that
onto
smell
the
good?
bench.
Wow.
Well, it's so healthy. And the garlic powder and the ricotta just adds so much more flavour to these little gnocchi bites. Beautiful.
So anyone out there who doesn't have the Smellorama app, you should download it because this smell is just gorgeous.
Just going to go back to this guy here and just turn him on. Come back to him in a second. All right. So now we just need to bring this together. Now your gnocchi dough should be actually just kind of like this. So look how much extra flour I've got. And it's not a problem with the recipe. It's just that different potatoes have different moisture levels. So for me, that's absolutely perfect. So, and you have a feel of that. I know your hands are clean. Your hands are always clean. But it's kind of a little bit tacky, very soft. And the thing is, if you add lots and lots of flour to this, what you're going to end up with is heavy, dense gnocchi. And we want lovely, light little pillows of air. So that is perfect. So now what I want to do is to cut this into 3. How do I know that? Because this has told me. And we have another video that tells us how to actually roll the gnocchi. So guys, if you're thinking of getting a TM6, seriously, just go do it. It's amazing. There's so many additional things that really enhance your cooking experience. So I'm going to be doing this. So with my dough, just going to be splitting that into 3 pieces.
I could do this. As a kid, I used to make things out of plasticine and Play-Doh.
Just a little hint, what I often find, when you're rolling, people don't put enough pressure in the middle. So pressure in the middle and then roll that out, because you end up with this big bit in the middle, which you don't want. So we want to roll this out to about 1/2 inch thickness. And you notice I haven't got any excess flour because I'm using my Thermomat. If you're working on your bench, you're going to need to put extra flour down. And remember, if you're thinking of upgrading to a TM6 or getting a TM6, this mat comes free as one of the gifts, and you also get the amazing bread tin this month. So come on guys, just do it and have fun in the kitchen.
And for those of you who are younger than Colette, half an inch is about a centimetre and a bit.
I know, I'm sorry. Go back to my craft days. If Izzy's on, she'll know totally what I mean. I used to run a lot of card making classes and patchwork classes and all this kind of stuff, which I loved. I had the most amazing group of customers. But we always worked in inches. Well, that's
because they were all American driven, so
yeah, that's
America
true.
still uses the imperial system, where us Commonwealth countries use the metric system.
Yeah. So I've got 2 here, and then the last one, I'm just going to roll this out. In fact, I won't roll this out. I'm going to come back to that in a second. I'm just going to get some... do you have this in your kitchen? I love this stuff. It's Glad Go-Betweens. And what it does, you know, you can put it in between layers of things in the freezer. Nothing sticks to it, but I use it a lot just for wrapping things up really quite simply and quick. Anyhow, that's Go-Betweens. Love that. Another product I love. And then, okay, I've done that, so I'm now going to chop this, but I do want to put a little bit of excess flour on here now, because when you chop it, you're going to get exposed the sticky inside of this, if that makes sense. And I'm just going to put a little bit of flour on my mix shop, which we use for such a lot, and I'm just going to, I should probably go from this end, shouldn't I, Andy? I'm guesstimating here. So you want about 1 inch, which is how much, Andy?
Just under 3 centimetres.
3 centimetres. So that's going to be fine. Just chop these down too. So that's the little gnocchi, and then what I mean is that now is quite sticky, so just a little bit of flour, not too much. Remember, we don't want dense gnocchi, so that's going to be great. Just move these to one side. Now, unless I have people coming around and I'm entertaining, I tend not to shake the gnocchi. I leave them as little pillows. So all I will do is I will just get my board here, a little bit of extra flour on here.
When you say shape, what do you mean shape? You mean like
Yeah, you've got to shape them.
what, lunar modules, wildebeest shape? What sort of shape?
You can have that kind of fun. But what I tend to do when I'm just doing them for Andrew and I, sorry darling, is I will just pick them up and I will just squeeze them. That's all I do. Pick them up, give them a squeeze and pop them down. But I will show you how to shape them, just in case that's kind of what you want to do. So that's going to go down.
It looks like it's big gnocchi.
They are big gnocchi. It was hard actually cutting them. So I just want to get a few on here so I can get these going while I show you about that shaping. So that's probably about, yeah, they're a bit big, but that's okay. That will be fine. We'll put those through. Now, so what I'm going to do now, in my other Thermomix, what I have got going is, and you could have this warming up, but just to save time, I have put my blade cover in here, and I have basically got boiling water in there. So I've just got it on varoma temperature. So just counting down. So I've got it on varoma temperature. Just hold it a second. The safety features counting down. Love all those safety features with the Thermomix. Thank you. So it's on high heat now. I'm going to take this cover off, and I'm just going to go varoma, and I'm just going to, don't go to speed 3, sorry. I just want stir speed. I just want the water gently agitated, and I'm just going to drop this gnocchi in through the hole. Now you don't need to use your blade cover with this, because it's going at stir speed, so it's quite gentle, and if you've got your gnocchi correct, it's going to start floating almost immediately, and then as it gets ready it's going to float to the top, and that's when you know it's done. But let's go back and talk about that shaping. Now, I have a gnocchi board. I'm sure a lot of you have a gnocchi board, but it's packed away, so I can't use it. But it is a very simple process to use. I'll show you kind of on a fork, and it's the same process with a fork. So, gosh, they are big gnocchi actually, Andrew, aren't they? That's probably more the size. Oh, I'll put that in half. These are crazy big gnocchi. We'll go with this one. So what you're going to do is it's actually hard looking at, but you're going to go on and you're going to press it down, roll it down, and then you're going to flip it over. So what you end up with is you end up with crevices, and you end up with a little pillow. And the idea behind that is where all the sauce will actually capture. So let me show you again, just a little bit of flour on my fork. Oh, they're so big. So we'll try with this piece here, which is probably a bit more a decent size. So on the fork, pressing it down, rolling it, and then as it comes to the end, get your fingers away and then just give it that extra little roll off there. So there you've got your indentation to capture all the sauce, and you've got those little rivets. So on your fork, so gosh, it's ginormous. So pressing down, rolling, see how it's rolling across? And then that will just flip over. So that's how you do your rolled gnocchi. Super easy. Wash my hands here. Now, fillings or sauces for gnocchi. I'm just going to put my oven on here. And did you want to pop around here? Because we can keep an eye on that gnocchi over there. What I'm actually going to do, still figuring out how to use this oven, or this hob. I don't use the hob very much. I have a Thermomix. I want this to go to a medium high. So press. So that should be fine. And in here I've basically got some butter, some olive oil, and some sage leaves. That's going to be my sauce for tonight. Super easy. But let's have a chat. What are the sauces? If you were making gnocchi, what kind of sauces do you love to have? Pop them in the chat. Andrew, what kind of sauce would you love to have with gnocchi? You'd probably like an oxo gravy. No, you wouldn't. What would you like?
Just a tomato pasta style sauce.
That's it. Yep, beautiful. One of your favourites would be which is not conventional, but it's just beautiful, and that's to do a real cheesy Mornay.
I was just about to say cheese sauce.
Cheesy Mornay sauce is absolutely gorgeous. Also a pesto, and if you do a really smooth pesto, really blitz it down in the Thermomix after making it, and add a little bit of extra cream in that to it, it is amazing, really, really good.
Well, this sounds good from Lindsay. A creamy mushroom white wine ragu. I like that.
I like that too. That would be insanely good. Love that.
Ooh, creamy mushroom.
Yeah, creamy mushroom would be good. So just getting this to heat up, and I'm just going to check in here how that's going.
I love the tomato salami fettuccine, but without the salami.
You know, who said that?
That was Vicky.
Vicky, that's a great idea.
But then why not just call it a tomato fettuccine?
A gnocchi salami, that would be a great, because that Thermomix dish is amazing, so tasty, so many good flavours, and just make the sauce and then just pour that over.
Oh, I see what you're saying. So it's if you would make the tomato salami fettuccine, which I love, by the way, but just the sauce, you take the salami out. Sorry, Vicky, I understand what you're saying.
Yeah, actually, we've got some salami.
And Zayden mentioned that a carbonara, any creamy one?
Oh, carbonara, and with bacon. Oh my gosh, so many opportunities. Yes. Everything tastes better with bacon. Yeah, all of those would be good. So tonight I'm just basically doing a nice brown butter sauce. So I just want to bring this to this browning stage. And I love to add a little bit of olive oil in my brown butter, because it just helps stop burning so quickly. So that's looking good. Now I reckon
that's on pretty high.
Yeah, I reckon that this here, that's pretty good. So I wasn't actually timing this, so just want to.
How would you say? Debbie says she's never had gnocchi before. How would you describe the taste or flavour of gnocchi?
Really light, airy potato. Imagine like, yeah, potato. It's got potatoey, so, you know, sweet potato flavours. It's absolutely delicious. It's one of those home comfort foods, just absolutely gorgeous. So, I've just done this first, just to save us a bit of time. So I'm just going to pour a fair chunk out of that, and I'm just leaving a tiny bit in there. And now what I'm going to do, can I just show you here? Can you see how my gnocchi is all on top now? So that's ready. And I'm going to pop this in here just to brown off a little bit.
That's probably too high.
Yeah, no, it is probably, you're right, Andy. So I'm going to figure out how to work this. I'm not being good at this. That's okay, 7 is good. So we want to, and this will splash and sizzle a little bit. So just onto the paper to try and get rid of that. You don't want gnocchi this big, guys. Giant gnocchi. Okay. Some more. Now they are a little bit delicate, so you do kind of want to keep an eye on them. So I'm just going to put a little bit more of that oil in and just stay there for a second.
How come those things be delicate, the size of feet?
No, they're humongous. That's because I was cutting backwards. So all I'm doing is I'm just wanting to brown them a little bit to get them a little bit crispy on that outside. So I'm going to turn this back up now to about 8. And then just give it a few seconds to, please on. Smell like butter. Yum. I love the addition of the ricotta in this particular one, and also the little hint of garlic with that garlic salt. Remember we popped that in there as well. Yum. I don't mind giant gnocchi. So that's browning up quite nicely. Won't be too long to go. Just a moment, guys. Put a little salt out. Oh, hard to find bits and pieces in this little house. 2, little bowl. And then all I'm going to do is I will put this up even higher just to speed it up. So you're kind of looking for a nice, probably even crisper than that. Can you see the brown crispiness happening there? That's kind of what you're looking for. So just give them a nice turn. And that crispiness really makes a difference with your gnocchi. Really makes a nice difference. Oh, that's happening now. Yum. So I will post, I've got a great recipe which is using vegetables, so it's a kind of a vegetarian version gnocchi, and that creates an amazing sauce. I'll do a recipe card so you can actually try that because it's very yum, and it's great for those meat-free days. Alright, that will be fine. And I'm just going to now pour the rest of this in. So let me know, what other things would you love to see me do a live on? Are there things that you're a bit unsure about trying in the Thermomix? I'd love to know. Because sometimes I sit there and go, oh, what can I do tonight? What can I show people how to do? I had a lot of responses to that Varoma cooking class I did the other night. Is the Varoma something you'd like to learn more about? Would it be worth doing a live on that maybe? Some of the basic techniques on that? Okay, that's fine. Alright, so now I'm just going to pop this up here. Yum. Beautiful gnocchi. And then put that in.
Eyes are asked, so you're going to use sauce in them, but of course you've made the sauce there.
Yeah, so tonight I'm just keeping it really simple, and I have to say I just love it simple like this. But you certainly can. There's so many sauces that we've talked about already. I just love that burnt butter sauce with sage, and then just to finish that off in the fridge, of course, a little bit more grated parmesan. Or you could do shredded parmesan.
Yeah, so there's a few more saying yes, more Verona. One of the things you might want to do is one of the whole fish with all those Asian
Would you like to learn
sauces
Yeah, thank you, Andrew. Would you like to learn how to cook a whole fish with a beautiful? One of the things that I love to do is a lovely soy-based sauce with the crispy shallots and things on them. That's absolutely lovely. Andrew, you want to have a little go? I'm going to put a bit more cheese on there for you.
You want to cut that in half?
Is
that hot?
Yeah. Oh, these are going to be amazing. I'm going to have this one. Happy.
Lovely.
Absolutely lovely. So that's little pillars of gnocchi. Have a go. They are absolutely lovely. And what?
He's asked whether people want to see. What you want to see? They said yes. Andrew doing an OXO live. You cheeky monkey. Love it.
Got a reputation there now, Andrew. Yeah, so have a go. That's a fully guided recipe on Cookie Do with lots of little video tutorials built in, so that could be a great start point for you. And if you've got any questions, as always, let me know. And as always, if you're thinking of upgrading or getting a Thermomix, remember, I have customers all over Australia. I guess I'm a bit of a virtual Thermomix consultant, and please don't feel you do not get looked after. I think most of my customers would probably tell you you get more looked after. I do lots of things to make sure you get the most out of that Thermomix. So thank you so much, everybody. My name's Colette Matriga. Reach out if I can help, and I will see you next time. Say goodbye, Andrew.
Goodbye. Also, don't forget the pizza oven. We've been making pizzas every day since we've got it. It's just brilliant because you can just do anything and everything. So the other night we had his and hers pizza. So Colette had a boring vegetable pizza, and I had mine with bacon and chicken and cheese and tomatoes, onions, chilies, and mine was beautiful.
I said to him, you know, with pizza, less is more on top.
I know.
You should have seen Andrew's pizza. Oh my goodness, humongous. But that's the thing, the one pizza base, it doesn't matter what you put on them. Isn't hers amazing for pizza parties? I think that's going to be great when you have people over.
Even for kids' parties, you know, if you have, like, you know, you bring out all the toppings, the kids can make their own pizza. It goes in, and it literally, it's cooked in, what, about 70, 80 seconds? The pizza's done. It's just a fabulous little thing to have.
Absolutely, we love it, absolutely love it. And I've got lots of you that have already bought it, and I will be getting a newsletter out to you probably tomorrow about gearing that up and getting started with some hints and tips and things. I will see you next time. Bye for now, everyone. Thank you.